Hello.
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 Hello. Hi Haritha, good evening.
Hello.
Hi Haritha, good evening.
Hello. వినిపించట్లేదు నా మాట.
I'm able to hear you.
మనది ప్రాబ్లమా? హలో.
Hello.
నాకు వినిపించట్లేదు. హలో.
Hello.
ఇంకా వినిపించట్లేదు.
Hello.
హలో.
Hello.
హలో.
Hello.
వినిపించట్లేదా? హలో.
Hello.
Srinivas, I'm able to hear you.
Yeah, okay. So what happened? Is there any mute option?
Yeah, no. It's a mistake from my side.
Okay, I was about to recreate the meeting ID. Thought of having some issue.
No. It was problem from my side.
Okay. So finally could able to figure it out.
No.
Let me share my screen. You're able to see my screen now? So these are the topics we discussed during our last class. Do you have doubt on any of the topic?
No.
Clear, right? So you're able to practice on all of them.
Yeah.
So yesterday we just described something about the interface, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, you told that we declare variables and methods.
Yes. The variables, like what happens, like by default, if we declare variable as integer something, integer I.
So,
In any variable that we declared, so by default those variables becomes the final variables.
okay.
And any method that we declare, by default those method becomes abstract methods that we discussed.
Oh yeah, yeah, that also we discussed. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that we'll be seeing continuation. So let me add some topics to it. Yeah. So interface is a keyword which is going to help us in creating an interface in Java. Okay.
Okay.
I will create an interface, then I will come back to the explanation.
Okay.
Interface is an option you can choose. Interface name, whatever. So I told you that if you declare a variable as something,
It's a final.
yes, fine. So this is called internally treated as public static final end count done. Means either you can type this complete thing, or else if you give a shorthand form like this also, it's going to represent in the both the same.
Okay.
And method purpose also, it's going to be like public method, right? White show. So both are going to be the same.
Okay.
Okay, so whatever you define. Interfaces are like just like the abstract of your blueprint. So we are going to provide some only the definitions inside it, and we are going to use these interfaces to provide the logic at runtime who is implementing.
Okay. Okay.
So in the class, we are going to use this interface in the classes. So how do you use that? The implements is the keyword, which is
Okay.
going to help us in linking your class and interface. Means there is an interface, and if you want to use that interface by loading it, so you have to use you might have remembered extents, right?
Yeah, extends for inheritance we do use that.
Yes, the same way, like, so instead of like that extents, like, so along with that extents, in case if you have that, implements is a keyword that you are going to use if you want to have the interface to be loaded in your class. Okay, once you implement that interface in your class, so for any class, so immediately it expects that, because this is an abstract method, right? Abstract
Yes.
means you have not provided any method logic here. So if you are not provided any logic, who is going to provide the logic here? It's the person who is willing to use this interface. It's his turn to provide the logic.
Okay, whoever is going to use this interface, they provide the method. I mean,
Implement.
logic in that method. Okay.
The primary reason is, let's say, um, there is a common entity called let's say we have a couple of entities: student, employee, and person. Different entities are there. Okay, different classes.
Okay.
If I ask all of them to write a method to display details, so let's say I might choose a method name as show details, or you might choose a method name as display, or someone else might choose a method name as something else, right?
Okay.
All the intention of all methods are just to display the contents of the respective object, but the method names are each guy came up with their own convention, right?
Yes, yes.
So instead of that, what we can do, we can create one interface. In that interface, I'll provide a method signature, show, or something, anything which you prefer. So now we'll ask all individual entities to implement this interface. That means here we are forcing that this is the method signature you need to follow. On top of that, you can write the logic whatever you want. So we are
Oh,
forcing the structure here, definition wise.
oh, they're using the method name, but the logic is different for everyone.
Yes. So now three guys are three programs they're developing. But for all of them, what I told, I have created an interface. Use this interface, which is going to give you some kind of rules on top of it. So everybody implemented my interface. So once they implement it, they'll get the dummy implementation of show method. So inside that show method, each individual guy have to write a logic specific to the person, the student or employee or whatever.
Yeah, what you said is I understood what's the interface is, but still now I did not understand what is the importance. I mean, what is the use of this interface? They're using the method name, but they're writing their own logic.
Yes, if here we are imposing the rules, right?
I didn't get you.
Uh, Assuming that the same scenario, whatever we discussed, if you want to have the rules to be imposed, the same thing, I have asked three individual guys to perform something. So
Yes,
once we ask, so each guy will come up with their own way of writing the logic, right?
yes, yes.
So show method, show details, display
Yeah.
data, or whatever they'll come. So here implementation wise, everything is going to work. Let's say someone else is using those three classes dynamically, suppose.
Okay.
So there is an interface which I created. Suppose three guys were created three Java classes, so which is not using interface. Suppose, okay, they create
Yeah.
three different methods to display the data. All are to display the respective Java object.
Mm.
In future, there is an object which is using these three objects dynamically, and intention of that object purpose is to display the details. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
When I say dynamically, it can create an instance of any of these three dynamically, right?
Okay.
So in that case, how does it know that whether it has to call show details method or a display method or a display details method? It doesn't know, right? Because
Okay.
each individual class have different names.
Yes, yes.
So if it is the same name, so for the dynamic guy, it doesn't even know, remember anything. He simply calls the default method that is available, display method. When you call a display method applying on the showed student object is going to display student details. Display method which is applying on the person object is going to display person details, like that. So dynamic nature we are imposing here, right?
Yes.
Now you got some idea.
Yeah, but can't we create the instance for all the three classes? I mean, for three members who are creating their own class. I mean, method.
Let me show with an example that helps.
No, I understood what the interface is that, but I'm not getting what is the that
Yeah,
much important the interface.
that's where I'm coming here. So
Okay.
if there is any base class and those three guys are using implementing the extending from that class, so any class can have an instance to be created to the base class level.
Okay.
I'll show the direct example.
Okay.
Not the interface. Without interface, I'll show you the problem. Then we
Okay.
can implement interface.
Okay.
Hmm, best something. I'll take only two classes instead of three. So for the car. So there is a base class person. Okay.
Person. Mm.
So I created a two classes out of it. One
Okay.
is extending person, one employee is extending person.
Okay.
Okay. Now assuming that this guy is not using interface. Okay.
Okay.
White show details. This guy is no, what is paste data. So I've asked student the class whoever is writing student. I asked him to display the data. He has created a method name show student details. Show details. Okay.
Okay.
Same
Okay.
way, I've asked the employee person to display the data. He has created the method
Display
name as display data.
data.
So,
Okay.
but intention of is like just to display the particular internal information, right?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Now, if you create a student object, as you're asking at the just the very last question. So, if you create a student object,
New
yes,
student.
you can call what is the
Yes.
method which is available.
Yes. Yes. Dot show details.
And the same, if you create a
Employee object.
display data. So, as far as this one is good, but in
Mm.
reality, always we are not going to create a object of respect one. So what we'll do dynamically. So here we are creating a student object here, right? But there are
Yeah.
certain cases that we might create either student object or the employee object dynamically. Either of one object only we require certain cases.
Okay.
So what you will do, person p equal to new student. You might do, or
Person P equal to new student. Okay.
you can do you might do either of them.
So you created instance differently this time. Person P1 is equal to new student.
Means nothing complex. So usually you'll create a instance of this one, right?
Yes.
We have another option called creating an instance of your derived class and storing in the base class. That's what it is here. Base
Okay.
class
Okay.
person, the derived object.
Okay.
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 This
Got
is
it.
possible. Now you got it right. So this is like a base class object. You are trying to show the derived class object, right?
Okay.
So here the right hand part, it can be dynamic. Means either you might allocate the instance of employee or the student based on the type of logic. Suppose based on the logic, it might be changing.
Okay.
Any confusion?
No.
What I meant to say here, directly I have showed you the new student, but what I'm saying here, I might create a object dynamically. Either I might create a student object or I might create employee object.
Employee object.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me add some this command line.
Okay.
Type equal to soft 0. Instead of assuming, let me write that dynamic code. If type right? This is valid scenario, right? Based on the
Okay.
value I pass, either I might create student object or I might create employee object.
Okay.
Okay. Now
Okay.
you have an object which is having an internal instance of student and employee, right?
Okay.
So now if I ask you to call the show details or display data, so which method you are going to call now? On P?
So you want to show the details of employee.
I want to show the details of the object which is there in P. It can be a student or it can be employee, that you don't know.
Oh, yes.
Depends on the user entry. So which one you are going to call now?
So which one? So
Answer is like we cannot say anything, right?
yes.
When you say P dot, what you are going to get?
P dot equal nothing is there. Equals object you're saying?
No, not equals. So like invoking a respective method.
Okay. P dot person or the student or employee you're asking?
Yeah, student or employee, which method you are going to call now?
So I want to call student.
Okay, so do we have any object here? P dot.
Oh, that's why we don't have that.
So this is the possible thing like that usually like overlap. So because based on the type of the data that you are dealing, you might create a dynamic instance. In this case, it's a problem, right?
Oh, if we want to create dynamically, then we get the issue.
In many cases, we create dynamically because we might be having many classes. So it depends on the scenarios. We might create one of the scenario dynamically. So now there will be a conflict here, right?
Oh, yes.
So if you create a interface and if you are using that interface, that means you are imposing a rule that use this method. Once you impose that rule, so everybody is going to follow the same method now.
Okay.
So let me change the code to interface. Okay. Clear or any confusion?
No, clear.
Okay. I'll just comment this one. I'll leave the existing code and I'll create it. As and when I use implements, it expects you to override the method. Add an implemented method. So it has probably given me a logic that given me the step. So you need to provide only the logic inside. Same way. Immediately it expect me to override. Okay, now we are ready with your code. So obviously I cannot call show details and display. Both are commented right now.
Yeah.
Now I can say p dot show. And it's a p dot show, which method is going to call now? Show from employee or show from student? Which method is going to call?
P dot show.
In P,
What?
there is a blank show method, right?
Yeah, in
Doesn't
P
have
there is a person, there is a blank.
Yes, in P, yeah, it's a person object. P is nothing but person object. There is a show
Okay.
blank.
Blank, yes.
Yeah, when I say P dot show, is it going to call employee or is it going to call student?
No, no, it's a blank method. So it's going to call.
Nothing is going to call. Let's run this program. It's in your control now. I want to pass C.
Okay, from here we need to pass. Okay.
It's running the previous program, so we need to change that one. What is the program name? Base test, right? Showing employee info. We run.
Yes.
Showing student info. Everything is dynamic, right? Here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we give the objects while runtime.
Yes, there are many cases which happens based on the values. We may create an object, and we load that object into basic level.
So most of the times in real time scenarios, we do give objects like this. I mean, in runtime.
Yeah, this is also one of the case we give. It all depends on the need. If you feel that, like if your requirement says that I don't know what based on user values, I would like to call some function which is common across all these instances. You don't know what user is going to enter, right? If you see the same case, I have entered E and I have entered S, right?
So
Based on the value, we have all created a respect object.
Okay, so
we are creating an instance and storing that reference in a interface.
A base class, yes, interface.
Yes, interface. So once I call an interface method, whatever is the instance that is loaded on that at that particular time, the show method is going to call on that particular instance.
So we do use interfaces only at this kind of situations.
This is one of the scenarios, and
Okay.
Though, as I said, show method, I don't do any implementation, right? I am leaving to the users that implement whatever you wish.
Okay.
But I am just imposing a rule that method name should be so and so.
Sure, yes, that's okay.
That's what I given. So if I'm not giving any rule, everybody will come up with their own thing. Problem is, as long as we are creating instance for that particular class, it is fine. When we consolidate everything like this, it's going to be a problem.
Okay.
Okay, got it now?
Okay.
Now we got some idea, maybe 5% of idea about the interface.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Maybe once you practice further, then it might be clear further doubts. Or if you have
what you said about the interfaces, I got it, but I'm not able to analyze exactly at what time we need to use that. That's okay. I think by practice, I would get, I would may understand that.
This is the one of the scenario. Just So what we did in this scenario, we have imposed the rules, right? What rules?
Yes.
The show method should be like this. So this is one
Yes,
of the
yes.
scenario, live scenario.
Okay.
So we are imposing the rules here, and we don't know the logic at the time of implementation. So that's where like we are keeping it an empty, and we are leaving the implementation to the end user who is willing to use this interface.
Okay.
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 If it was a class like this, we can write the logic here by writing a show method. But their
Yes.
logic is specific to the person object also you are writing here, right? But I do not
Yes.
want any logic to be implemented for person. So that's where like I go for the interface.
Okay.
If you convert
Okay.
this to a class, that also it works. But
Oh yeah, it works. Yeah.
it works. But
But
the class you are defining one method that is specific to a particular class. But I do not want any implementation for my basic implementation. That's where like I move to interface.
okay. 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 Got it.
Correlate, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at any point of time, maybe afterward also, once you read, if you have any doubts, once again we can revisit the same topic and we can discuss further to get it clarified further.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe once
Sure.
you practice tomorrow, in case if you get any doubts, and we'll revisit the same topic once again.
Okay.
So we'll discuss from the beginning.
Okay. Okay.
Operators. So operators are to perform some operation, right? In general. So in
Okay.
Java, we have a couple of operators which are available. So I'm not going to discuss basic things like plus, minus, multiplication that everybody know, right?
Yes. Yes.
Plus what does and so I'm going to tell you basically the things like which are new to you, maybe which are new to Java person. Okay.
Okay.
Plus, minus, division operator. Maybe some of the things you might have already read.
Yeah.
Okay. So to this, what are the things which you are aware? Accordingly, I might ask you a question.
Okay. Um. I mean, this plus plus means increment, minus minus decrement, right?
So,
Am I correct?
so you know about these two, right?
Yeah. This percentile.
Okay, if you know about these two, so I'll write a small 2 to 3 lines of the code. I want to know the answer,
Okay. Okay.
so that we'll see. You're okay, right?
Yeah. I'm okay.
Operators test. Yes. So can you give me the output?
Uh.
Yeah, output at 1 second. Last can I add? This is the question which I usually ask in interviews for my whenever I do interview. One of the question.
Oh, okay.
So what is the answer at each level?
Um. So the first one is okay. 10. It prints 10 and 10, and the second one is I plus plus means I think
You said increment, right? So that's where
yes, increment means 11 we should get.
okay, very good.
But I didn't remember what is plus plus I. I knew this we do declare like this also, but I don't know what the exact it will result.
You can try something.
Uh, I plus plus. I think 11 only. I think.
11, okay.
Yeah.
This also good answer. Next.
Uh, sys- After increment, the I will. No, it's 10 only.
System only. So if you let me give answers now. This is going to get,
Oh,
and this is going to get. 10, 10, 12, 12, right?
Yeah.
So what happened? What is the issue? So
So
where
first
is
one
this
is
guy?
so first one is taking 10, and next time I plus plus means it is taking still as 10 only. Why? What's the reason? Still, it's not incrementing.
So the plus plus and minus minus. So these are like increment and decrement. That's for sure, right?
Yes.
That's what we know. So
Yeah.
applying plus plus on the right side is different from the applying plus plus on the left side. So when I say plus
Okay.
plus, same would apply to minus minus. We are just taking an example of one operator. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
When you're applying on the right side, what happens? First, it performs the left side operation. Whatever you perform, if it completes. After that, it increments it.
Okay. So first it
First, it
performs the
is
right.
first it performs. So here we are doing I plus plus, right? So first
Okay.
it performs the left side action and then it will increment. Means when it's the left side action, what we are doing, system dot out dot println I plus plus. So first for the system dot out dot println, it shares the I value. What is I value at that moment? 10.
10. 10.
So then 10 it is I value incremented to 11. So in memory it is 11, but while printing it was 10. That's where it was 7. But in the memory it
Okay. It
is
is
11.
11.
Okay.
Okay.
Now when you
Okay.
come to this line, this is plus plus I. So as I said, first it performs the first action, right? So here
Yes.
it is asking for plus plus means first it is asking to increment. So in memory it is already 11. So first it is
12.
incremented 12, and that 12 value is going to be given to system.out.println. That's where it is 12.
Okay. So it is incrementing 12. But what about the I here?
It's already 12. So same 12 is
Yeah.
printing.
Okay.
There ends the matter.
Okay. Okay.
Now you are clear. Plus
Oh
plus on
yes.
the right side is going to perform the left side action first, and then it's a just remember that it's a post. So it
Okay.
performs the left side action first, and then post that action, it's going to do the increment. And this is
Okay.
free. So first it's going to perform this action, and then it's going to take care of the next action, whatever it's going to perform.
Okay. Okay.
Now you're
Got
clear.
it. Yes. Yes.
This is a module operator. I think we have already used this one when you are working with even and odd program, right?
Even and odd, yeah. If we use the dividend a slash symbol, we do get the dividend result, right?
Exactly. So when you use
Mm.
the percentage symbol, we're going to get the modulation. So accordingly, you can take a decision like whether it's a number is divisible successfully or not. If the
Yes, yes.
modulation is 0, we call it as even number. Otherwise, it's odd number.
Yeah.
So we're not doing an example because we're already there.
Yeah, yeah. We
So
did that.
yeah, double equal to is to check the equality of the numbers.
Oh,
Equality, right?
okay.
And
Mm.
not equal to is check the not equal to generally.
Okay.
Right? So at any point of time, there is a condition you have to check the equality. So generally, might in the other programs might be single equal to, right? In Java, it is called double equal to.
Okay.
So we have a if I equal to 12, so it's better to give the spaces, but it will not give error, but for the better readability.
Okay.
Just I just given some condition just to show you that double equal
Okay.
to we are going to write and not equal to we are going to write. This is a missed. So I value is already 12, right? So when I say double equal to I value is 12 satisfied, that's where you could see that it's printing.
Yes.
So I value is not I value is 12. So when I say this one, so yes, the condition is satisfied, right? I is not equal to 13. That's printed.
Oh.
So this is how we just use the these two
Oh.
symbols.
Okay.
and double ampersand is to check the multiple conditions. We call it as AND condition.
Okay, double ampersand. Okay.
And double pipe symbol is called a OR symbol.
Yeah, you used this symbol 2 days back for
Okay,
some.
maybe in the switch case I used.
Yeah. Uh,
Somewhere in the if conditions,
no, in if condition, I think you used that.
yeah, if condition I might have used.
Some. Yeah, in that only. Or somewhere you use that
Yeah, maybe
in the
some
conditions
program.
only.
Okay, okay. You,
In
you
the control loops.
when we are working with the control statements, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So double ampersand, you know right now about these two.
Yeah, I know that pipelines and double ampersand for
Double ampersand is for AND condition. Let's say, and the same example we take. Um, and J equal to 10. I'm just taking some example. If I equal to 12 and J equal to 10, so AND condition satisfied because I value is 12 and J value 10, right?
you're checking two
Yeah.
conditions.
So not only two, you can have any number of conditions. So when you want to club multiple conditions, this one and this one, difference
Okay.
here is when you use this one, it expect all conditions to be true. Then only it enters inside a block. If you use
Yes.
AND symbol, this is AND,
Yes.
right? I want
Yes.
all these guys to be satisfied. When you use this one OR symbol, either of the conditions satisfied, then enter inside a block. And
Yeah, I do remember now.
if I
Yes, yes.
change the value to 11, so what happens? Though this is quite satisfied, this failed, right?
Yes.
It will not enter inside it.
Okay.
So if you use the OR condition,
Then it will, I think, satisfy that condition.
because either of the one is satisfied.
Yes, yes. I is equal to 12. It is okay. Okay.
This is satisfied, right?
Got it.
This is called ternary operator. Ternary operator in Java. Question mark and colon.
Okay, ternary operator.
So you remember we have used if else, right?
Yeah.
If condition else. So
Yes, yes.
ternary operator is also going to be the if else part, but it
Okay.
is it's a single line. If else, how many right? How many lines you coded? 4 to 5 lines it took, right? Minimum. When you are writing if condition, if there is a
Yeah.
bracket and there is a message and else there is something, right?
Yeah, we can write
So
conditions like that.
yes, the same thing can be written in a single line using a ternary operator.
Okay.
Single liner statement. We call it as inline kind of a statements. If you think that there is a small decision has to be taken for some reason, you can go for ternary operator on the fly. It evaluates and takes a decision accordingly.
Okay.
Okay, if you go for the same even number or odd number, suppose um, I is already having some value, right? So what we'll do, if I percentage 2 equal to 0, I'll comment all these things, not record for us. This is the old way of coding, right?
Yes.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you able to hear me? Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that till now I'm not able to hear. This is the old way of coding, right? Just for condition checking. What
Yes.
to do? I'm going to do a small. Otherwise, assume that we have a result. This is one way without using a Ternary operator, right? Now same thing, if I want to convert it, what I can do, result equal to, what is the condition, I percentage 2 equal to 0, comment this guy,
Okay.
even. So if you make it right,
Okay.
single line we are doing everything right.
Yes, yes.
So let me explain how it's evaluate. First, left side, the condition part you have to give. The condition, after execute a condition, there is a question mark. So if this
Yes.
condition is true, it's evaluate this statement. If the condition is false, it's going to evaluate this statement.
Okay.
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 Straightforward ternary operator. In case if you want to have the nesting, means if else if you want to write something, but
Okay.
we can also do that. So what you have to do, once if suppose this condition is satisfied, you want to have one more if, so you can do once again you have to write ternary operator inside it. But in this case, you have to take care about ordering of closing your brackets. Otherwise, it might not be, because everything is single line, right?
Yes,
You
yes.
have to manipulate things accordingly.
Okay.
It's possible that you can even write if else if part, provided if you know.
Okay. So what happens if nested if else?
Same thing.
I mean, just now you told, but just a small example.
Yeah,
You just told.
yeah, we can do. So what we can do, it's any, okay, same example. So here, if I less than 50, what I would like to do,
Oh, you're giving inner brackets.
even,
Okay.
yeah, the brackets are important.
Yeah, to see that only I asked you the example.
So even like the life scenario means something you have to create it, right? Those are even and
Yeah.
are like those are extra things.
Yeah.
But it's going to print now. If it is even, suppose, then it checks like is it is less than 50 or not. If it is less than 50, along with
Okay.
even, it also prints that it's less than 50. Something, some just message that. If
Okay.
it is greater than 50, it prints that yes, it's even, but it's more than 50.
Okay. Okay.
In this case, it's 11, right? So let me write 10. Okay, it's executing this guy. I need to comment this part, right?
Oh yeah.
Those are
It's
all surprise level. Is from where
yeah. It's showing only even. Yeah.
it happens. Even in less than 50. So if you give something, even in more than 50.
Okay.
And it's only like how you code. Once again, if you want, you can write one more bracket here. But being a developer, you need to take care of brackets. Otherwise, if and else part like will not behave as per your expectation. Because if you make a mistake in the coding, so definitely output may not be as per your expectation, right?
Hmm.
This is how we write.
Yeah.
So in the first part you write. In case you want somewhere something like this, here also you can write. Like that you can nest as many, but the brackets are very important.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. To see the brackets. Okay.
Yeah. Now you are clear?
Yeah. It's clear.
Plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to, division equal to. These are to perform the, like we are already having existing operation. Same thing can be shown in using a these shorthand form. These are called shorthand form kind of an operators. For example, I equal to I plus 1. Okay.
Okay.
This same can be written I plus to 1.
Okay.
Okay. When I say I equal to I plus 1, instead of writing I equal to I plus 1, I can say I plus equal to 1.
Okay.
So when I
Okay.
equal to I plus 10, so I can say I plus equal to 10.
Okay.
So I'll show you the example directly. Just a shorthand form. I value is something, right? So I'll 10, right? So we'll say I plus equal to 2. I plus equal to 2. I minus equal to 2. I star. Here you are going to get 60, right? So then 62. 60,
Yeah.
60 into 2, 120. 120 by 2. So whatever the number, right?
Yeah.
62, 60, 120. So I just give the number as 2. So whatever the number you give, accordingly it manipulates.
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
Clear? The uses of these operators.
Yeah. Got it. I understood.
Okay. I'll go with an arrays. So do you know like for what purpose you go for array?
Yeah, to store integers, set of integers
Hmm.
in a
Only
group, to store a set of integers as a group. We do use arrays.
only integers.
Yeah, for I think char also we can take.
We can take for everything.
Yeah, we can take for everything, right? But
Yes.
strings, okay. Yeah, I think we can take everything. Yes, characters also, integer character.
We can take for everything, but the primary reason is so when you do an individual declaration, let's say I wanted to create a 10 student numbers. So in case if you're not using arrays, you might declare student number 1, student number 2, student number 3, like that you might have created 10 fields, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So in memory, all these 10 are created at different locations as and when the memory available at the variable creation, right?
Oh,
So those are created at different blocks.
yes, yes.
In case you want to, when it's a different locations and with the different names, obviously developer has to remember the names, right? I need to
Oh,
remember as here example I took as student number 1, student number 2, but in reality if I given a chance to the developer might give different names, right?
yes,
So the
yes.
whenever I wish to use some variable name, I have to remember the variable name. There is a problem here, right?
Yes, yes.
The memory allocation also, it's at a different location. If you go for an array, array is a collection of similar data types, especially when you would like to store a similar kind of a data in a continuous fashion, we can go for array. So let's say if you take an example as integer array, if you want to store a
Oh,
group of integers and the memory also, the side by side if you are expecting, you can go for an integer array.
oh, okay.
Especially we go for homogeneous kind of a type. Homogeneous means same kind of a data type that we usually go for similar.
Oh,
Advantage is here I do not need to remember the individual element. I only need to remember the my array name. What is the array name? I can get at any element with that array name. Suppose if I want the 10th element, I'll say array name of 10th. I'll get the value which is located at so and so index, right?
oh, yes.
The advantage of array is code optimization. It makes the code optimized. We can
Oh,
retrieve, we can perform, we can update, we can manipulate the data randomly.
hmm.
We can access randomly, right? At any point of time we can ask for any value, we can update the value, you can do whatever you want. And the disadvantage with an array is, do you know any disadvantage?
Oh,
Do you think is there, will there be any disadvantage to array?
no.
No. So we have a disadvantage. So
Okay,
arrays are having size limitation. If you want to go for array,
okay.
definitely you have to declare size, means array of 10, suppose array of 20, whatever the number. So then only you are going to use that array. Once you declare a size, so you are Free to use
Okay,
only
we can't
the size.
extend that size.
We can't check size.
Okay, that's a disadvantage. Okay, I
So
don't remember that.
yeah,
Okay.
if you're giving a size limitation, so within that size you can manipulate.
Okay.
So you cannot extend that one. So if you want, you can create a new array and you can copy and all those things. But the array which you have created, we cannot extend. That's
Okay,
some
okay.
disadvantage that we might see with this. Okay.
Okay.
Here, so we will see with this example in tomorrow's class. Just we discussed about the theoretical part,
Okay.
the basic part about the array, right?
Ah,
Any doubts as of today's class?
no.
Is clear, right?
Yeah, clear. But nowadays you're not asking any interview questions. I mean,
So
in first I think you,
I just mentioned the interview question today. So
yeah, you just went,
this
but
one
in first
and
two,
arrays also. So disadvantage of array.
oh, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Just you ask me like that. By that I can notice and I can practice that. These are the questions that we do get in interviews.
so most of
That,
my discussion, I asked him what is the disadvantage. He said no. That is one interview question I used to ask. Maybe I have not
okay.
used that. This is interview question.
Okay.
Going forward, I'll mention that so that, as you said, like it just informative for you, right?
Okay. Okay.
So disadvantage of array usually you might get a question.
Okay.
Mostly everybody will say that there is no disadvantage. The size limitation is a primary disadvantage.
Oh, size limitation is main disadvantage for arrays. Okay.
Yes, because this can be overcome with the collections that will be seen the down the line
Okay. Okay.
after 10 class.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
If you declare array size as 20 and so then we can use only 10, right?
If you declare as 20, you can use 20.
I mean, if I don't want to use 20, but for safe side, I gave extra memory. If in future, if I do want, I can add the elements. So that's why I gave 20. So can we do like that?
We can do, but here you are unnecessarily wasting 10 memory blocks, right?
Yeah.
Memory blocks,
Okay. Okay.
like, it's
Okay.
unnecessary. So that's why we go for collections. Collections are like, so there you are not going to give a size. So it's based on the type of the issues, it automatically increments and decrements
Oh,
accordingly.
okay.
But still, we
Okay.
have time to learn that. So maybe after 10 classes, we might enter 10 to 15 classes.
Oh, okay.
It's a complete advanced topic.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, Artha. I think we are good
Okay.
for today, and we'll continue tomorrow. Okay.
Okay then. Bye.
Okay. Bye. And
Okay. So
this one
what
is
about?
also one interview question. So Ternary operator, nesting of the Ternary operators, is it possible? So most
Okay.
of the people say that it's not possible. We can possible. The only thing is that the brackets has to be coded accordingly. Otherwise, it might not work as per our expectation, right?
Oh
That's
yes.
another example. And
Okay.
from this topic, this one, and the most people used to confuse even after practice. Also, most used to people confuse with this guy
Yes.
and this
Increment.
one. Well, it's a simple, but still you might confuse.
No, first time we surely will get confused after knowing that. Okay. Okay. And what about the timings? Are you okay with that? I
No,
mean,
half an hour is not possible, Artha. The reason
no. If you want me to jump to 8:30, okay, we will go for 8:30 to 9:30.
But it might be a problem for you, right? Once again, shifting of the timing. You might be having the activities you planned activities.
Yeah, nothing. At the time, we do talk to our daughter. She's in India with my in-laws,
Okay,
so
okay,
we do talk to her only the
okay, okay.
only that thing we
Oh,
do have
oh, no
at
problem.
the
We'll continue with the same schedule. Actually, one more batch I'm going to complete by next week in the previous slot. So 7:30 to 8:30. So I'm planning to shift that guy to that slot. So
time.
your slot
Okay,
I'm not going to disturb. We'll continue.
okay. If you do have any problems, so okay, I can adjust
No,
for.
no, 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 no. There's no problem. Only thing is like somebody asks for some adjustment. I'll check
Okay,
with others, like if there is any possible to others. So accordingly, if there is any
okay,
some like shuffling of the item, because half an hour I cannot adjust. If I have to adjust half an hour, I have to modify three slots.
okay.
This 1 hour means I can swap either of the guys.
Oh yes, yes.
So half an hour it cannot be like
It's yeah, yeah. I do understand.
okay. So I'll
Uh,
so next week I might be completing the slot which is prior to you. So at that based
okay,
on that, so I'm going to shuffle that guy. So till then, like I requested him to continue the same slot, the next slot.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Then
Yeah.
bye.
Then thank you, Vedana.
Yeah, meet
Meet
on
on.
Monday.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye. Happy weekend.
Thank you.